It is once again time. Much overdue WrestleMania 31 review. My sincerest apologies. One of the main reasons why I didn't do a review right away is because it took about 3 or 4 days for my voice to come back, and oddly enough, it's barely starting to fully come back. So another reason is just because this video is gonna be pretty long because I went to Wrestle Freaking Mania and I have a lot to share in my WrestleMania experiences. Had a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend you guys to go to WrestleMania weekend just because it was, I had nosebleed seats for God's sake, and I still had the best time because of what a great show this was, what a great experience it was with all the people I went with. Even the crowd around us was awesome. So let's just get this underway. Anyway, I don't really know how to do an experience video, so I guess I'll start off with the road trip. The road trip there was, oh my God, was it long as shit. I bullshit you guys not. We left at 2 in the morning to pump air into our tires, and we hit the road at about 3 because we still had to pack up the car with all of our shit. So we left for Santa Clara at about 3 in the morning from Las Vegas, and we did not get there until 5 p.m. And before you say, "Oh, you're bullshitting," that's a load of garbage. Well, on the way there, we were about 20 minutes out from our hotel, and what happens but a flat? All right. No biggie. We could just replace it, find a tire shop right away. There was a tire shop 2 miles away from where we were stranded. That's all good and dandy. So what we do is, we grab our stuff from the back, we change the tire, and, we try to go on with our business. Next thing we know, we put the key into the ignition. The battery's dead. Perfect, right? So now we have to wait for my friend's tow truck, and it's just a whole mess of different shit. And on top of that, we haven't eaten a full meal. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when this is happening. And, we're sleepy. We didn't sleep at all that night because we're leaving at 3 a.m. anyway. We're already excited as it is. So it's like, obviously, we're not going to be able to go to sleep. So we're sleepy. We're hungry. And we just want to get to the hotel and just rest our fucking bodies. But here we are, stranded 20 minutes away from our hotel with a flat tire and a dead battery. And it's just like, okay. So, as it turns out, the tow truck that my friend calls can only carry 2 people at a time, and there's 4 of us. So what I do is me and my other friend just start walking down the highway looking for the closest exit so we could just, find somewhere to wait for them. And, God was watching over us because then this really kind woman with a bunch of kids in the car asked us if we wanted a ride. And I don't mean to say like a bunch of kids in the car like she was some sort of, you want some candy type of person. No, it was about 3 kids, and she asked us if we needed to get where we needed to go. And just what a sweetheart, it was awesome. And this is kind of what started to turn the day around a little bit. She dropped us off at our hotel. I gave her gas money. She didn't want it, but I gave it to her anyway. And, we went about our day. As we waited for them, I kind of got a meal in, I guess you could say. I bought a hot dog from 7-Eleven. I don't know exactly if you call that a meal. But anyway, as it would turn out, this is really the kicker out of all of this. I guess you could say this is the kicker out of all of this. We go to our hotel, and it turns out to be this really disgusting, cockroach-infested place. And, the best part was we haven't even checked in yet. So my friend and I, kind of go outside after we walk in to check in to regroup because I didn't have enough money to check us all in and to pay for the room up front, plus the, I guess you could say the collateral money in case you damage anything. So we regrouped, and we're like, we do not want to fucking stay there. So what my friend does is, he calls and he tells them some bullshit problem, and then he calls and gives him some bullshit problem. The idiot manager actually buys it because this manager's a fucking retard. He buys it, and then he says that if the lady from Hotels.com says that it's okay that we cancel the room, then he won't charge us, which usually to cancel at that late juncture, you would have to pay that night. And what we did was we called the lady from Hotels.com. God bless her soul. She tells us, even though this is way out of ordinary, there's no managers that should be able to do this. It's up to the hotel whether they charge you or not. She gets on the phone with the guy, and the guy does not charge me for canceling the hotel. God, what an idiot. But that was just awesome. We ended up checking into this pretty good one. It's called Extended Stay. I'd recommend it. It's a pretty good hotel. But anyway, we wanted to go to Access, but, it was already too late. We were tired. We were hungry. We just wanted to rest our bodies. And, I mean, I don't know what other way there was to do it other than, good old-fashioned sleep. But, these guys were like, oh, we could sleep at any time. We're in Santa Clara, we should do something. And it's just like, all right, we were looking for things to do. We saw that the Golden Gate Bridge was like an hour away. We didn't want to drive any more that day. And WrestleMania was the next day, so we were just like, okay, so I guess we're not seeing the Golden Gate Bridge. So what we did was we went to the mall. We looked through some shit. We ate Olive Garden, thank God. Like that, I shit you guys not. That may have been the best tasting meal I've eaten in my life, just because of how much anticipation there was going into eating. But anyway, so WrestleMania morning, we wake up. I played some Grand Theft Auto 5 because I woke up really early because I was the only one that went to sleep. As crazy as this may sound, we're all tired, we're all exhausted, and I'm the only one that got some sleep. The rest of them were just like, nah, fuck sleep, this is a road trip, we gotta do some shit. So they're in there wrestling, like we're 8 years old again. And I gotta say, you know what, I partook in the wrestling. I'm not even gonna front. But for you to do this at about 11, 12 at night, while we're tired on no sleep, it's like, I kind of wanted to get myself some sleep. So obviously, I woke up earlier the next morning than the rest of them. I hit some GTA 5. I was killing shit. I was killing shit on the game and whatnot. And then we left the hotel about 11. I think it was 12. Yeah, 12. At noon, we left the hotel. And at this point, I kind of assumed that Empty Hill wasn't coming. So even though I had anticipated him coming, I was just like, So I just posted the ticket up on Craigslist for somebody to buy it. Luckily, I had a lot of offers, so I was lucky enough to be able to sell the ticket. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. On our way there, it was pretty cool because we saw a lot of people on the exit. A lot of people were dressed up. A lot of people were in their wrestling gear. It was pretty cool. Like we saw one, ironically, a yellow car, and it had two guys in there dressed as Goldust. So I thought that was pretty awesome. We would have honked at them, but we didn't have a car honk, so we just like yelled at them like hey, pretty. No, now that I think about it, that was pretty stupid to do. Like we could have scared them half to death, but yeah, whatever. All right, so we get to the arena, and I have a video on this. So you want to check this out? This is the first time I saw the WrestleMania arena. It was hard to maneuver through all of these people, but anyway, first thing we wanted to do was get up to our seats just to get a kind of a feel of what we were going to look at for the rest of the night. And I don't know if this is a testament to me being in terrible shape or if this arena was just absolutely humongous. But, oh my God, was I winded as soon as I got up to my seat. I was just exhausted. And it's just like, holy shit, you know? It was like I don't know exactly what it was, but God. Anyway, after we kind of got a look at our seats, we took a few pictures, and then we were just like, hey, you know what? We should check out the pre-show, because we saw the pre-show was going on, so we went all the way over to the pre-show. And again, you know, I don't know if I'm just in terrible shape or if the arena was just that big, or should I say the stadium. I don't know if it's improper to call it an arena since it's a stadium, but whatever. God, I was exhausted. And once we got there, you know, we saw Booker T, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, and Renee Young. I got to say, you know what? Booker T is a nice guy when it comes to you chanting his name. Byron Saxton is a really nice guy when it comes to you chanting his name. Renee Young, she acts like she acts like she can't hear shit. Like, I don't know if she wants to be all professional and whatnot, but she literally acts like you're not saying anything because she does not look up, although I will say, and I'm not bullshitting you guys, at one point I did say, Renee, she looked up. She didn't smile, but I waved at her, and she didn't smile, so that was a little bit awkward, but hey, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it for what it was. Anyway, me and my friend started a Byron Saxton chant. Byron Saxton turns around and waves at us. You know, we started Booker T chant. Booker T does a 5-time thing in front of his face, and then we started Renee Young chant. What does she do? She goes over her notes, and she highlights a few things. God damn it, Renee Young. You're making it really hard for us to like you. Anyway, at that point, we went back to our seats, and we just waited for the show to start. It was like, I think, 1:30 or 2 o'clock at this point, or 3 o'clock, actually, it was at that point, so holy crap, time flew by. You know, I don't remember where those, 3 hours went from when we left to, you know, us getting there and waiting for the show to start. But the tag team match playa starts, and I guess I'll review this more of actual show style from now on, and I'll add in a few little stuff that, you know, happened there. But anyway, nothing really to talk about in terms of live experience because I was booing Cesaro, and the fans obviously, you know, the fans around me were like, what's wrong with you? Cesaro's a great wrestler. But anyway, this match was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I was actually taken aback with how good this match was, and I was a little upset with the New Day not getting over, but go figure, you know. Anyway, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro end up retaining the titles. I don't even know what the hell is going on with the tag team division anymore. I mean, the primetime players just made their return. I doubt they're going to be the ones that dethrone Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, so maybe the Lucha Dragons, who just made their debut on the top show. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with the tag team division. Anyway, the second match, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You have 70,000 people going absolutely bananas for Damien Sandow. And fucking Big Show wins this thing. Are you serious? It's just like, okay, at this point, the guy who wanted to buy my ticket, the guy who wanted to buy the WrestleMania ticket that I was selling that was supposed to be MTOs, he texted me. He said, okay, I'm already here. And it was nearing the end of the match. I was just like, all right, I'll be right there. You know, I just want to see the end of this match. God damn it, dude. I really should have gone at this point. Because thanks to me watching the Big Show win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I missed the intro. I missed all of the entrances for the ladder match. And all for what? For me to watch the fucking Big Show win it. You know what? And I thought about it. I'm not as mad as I originally was, because right now it makes more sense than it did at the time. Because right now I can see it, why they did give the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, because Big Show is our generation's version of Andre the Giant, and this might be his last year. We're assuming it's his last year, so it's only fitting that he would win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But it's just like Damien Sandow is one of your hottest acts right now, and you don't crown him. You don't give him a crowning jewel. You have a miserable blow-off match on Raw this past week, and it's just... WWE, what the hell are you doing, man? Anyway, on to the ladder match. Like I said, I missed the entrances. I was selling the ticket. I got back. I think I was in the elevator as soon as Luke Harper's theme hit, and by that point, I think all the entrances were done. So, oh man, what a way to kick things off, Even though I will admit this ladder match wasn't fantastic, it was pretty good. And for what it was, I expected it to be a little bit better, but that's not to downgrade how good this match was. It was pretty good. So, my hat's off to all these guys, especially Dean Ambrose. It seems like whenever there's one of these situations, I know he's like a hardcore legend in the IWC, but, it just seems like every time these matches go down, he just seems to put the most on the line, especially here. Oh my God, that looked really nasty. That powerbomb through the ladder. But anyway, Daniel Bryan ends up winning. I'll admit, I was cheering for Bad News Barrett. And again, there's nothing really to tell about the live experience. With the fans and around us, we're just starting to get used to, each other. And we were chanting. We were kind of upset about how hot it was. It wasn't that hot, but it was hot. And luckily, we had like a little bit of wind to ease down the heat. But anyway, I wanted Bad News Barrett to win, but I will admit I did cheer when Daniel Bryan won, just because, you know what, I'm okay with that. I would have rather, if someone was going to beat Wade Barrett, I would have rather it been, Dean Ambrose, but, I have no problem with Daniel Bryan winning at all. So at this point, me and the jobber watching this one, we were wondering, why the hell is Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton this early on the card? It's just like, then we thought about it, then we're like, holy crap, this card is pretty stacked, so it does make sense. And I don't know how many shows there have been like this where the build wasn't very good, but the show actually delivered to its way past its potential. It far surpassed expectations. But this is definitely up there with some of the best of them. And Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton, pretty good match. Although with all the praise that it got, everyone's saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a show stealer. It's gonna be, this year's version of CM Punk versus Randy Orton back at Mania 27." I mean, back at Mania 27, where the match is really that good for you to consider one of them a show stealer. Granted, Punk versus Orton was a great match. It's just like, it didn't have a lot to, compete with. But I'm getting sidetracked. That RKO was fucking awesome. And it was at that point that me and the jobber we were screaming our lungs out just for the hell of it. He doesn't even like Randy Orton that much. I don't like Randy Orton that much. I like him to an extent. I was cheering for Rollins in the match. But we were just like, fuck it, we're at WrestleMania. We're just going to scream our lungs out like we're on a roller coaster. And, we're going to be all obnoxious and scandalous, and we don't give a shit. And it did not reign any more supreme than during Triple H versus Sting. Now, this one, even after thinking how stacked this card was hard to believe that this one was being put on so early. But once I really thought about it afterwards, it was like, okay, Triple H had a promo, so he had to go on early, and he won, so he had to go on early, because you don't want to leave fans with a sour taste in their mouths. Triple H versus Sting. I will be the first one to eat humble pie. I thought this match was going to suck, but luckily they made it no disqualification. They added DX versus an NWO kind of thing, and it just made up for at that point really wasn't even a bad match either. It was actually going far better than what I thought it was gonna be. So my hat's off to whoever booked this. And what's funny is before the match, me and one of the jobbers had said that, what would be awesome is if Shawn Michaels came in and, super kicked. And this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought there was going to be something where, because I didn't realize this match was no disqualification. So I said, there's going to be a point where the referee gets hit. There's going to be a ref bump somewhere. And then, Triple H is going to use a sledgehammer. Shawn Michaels is going to come out, stop him from using the sledgehammer, and then super kick Sting to, swerve us into thinking, holy crap, he's going to stop Triple H, and then, bah! He's on Triple H's team the whole time. But holy crap, when DX's music hit, I think that was the hardest I marked out the whole night. I don't know, I marked out pretty hard throughout the night, but that might have been the hardest I marked out when DX came out, just because, we called something similar to that. I think he said that he wanted DX to come out, and it was just like, holy crap, our hearts stopped. We went absolutely bonkers. And when the NWO came out, we went absolutely bonkers. At first I was just like, eh. Then I saw Hogan. I was like, what the fuck? They really went all out for this shit. So yeah, I went absolutely crazy. And I think this is the match where I think we went the craziest. I don't know. I went pretty crazy for Reigns versus Lesnar. But anyway, Triple H ends up winning. We went absolutely crazy for that too, because neither one of us expected that. As soon as I explained to him, hey, Triple H usually puts, not usually puts people over in these situations, but, usually when it's a returning legend in his, match that's once a year, Triple H would put the person over. But, I mean, I went crazy just because I didn't expect Triple H to go over. And I think it was just one of those things where, Vince McMahon wanted to have his last kicks, that he was better than WCW by having his guy beat the WCW guy. Oh, man. But what an experience. It was nice to see them do their handshake there toward the end. WCW and WWE finally make peace, despite the fact that one trampled over the other and put the other out of business. And we move on. Now, I had said prior to the show, I'm taking my piss break. I'm getting my soda during the Kid Ink concert. Of course, what's to happen? My friend on the way there told me that this theme, which I'm really digging, by the way, the one that's called Rise, it was by David Guetta. What he failed to tell me was that Skylar Grey was in the song. Now, I knew that wasn't David Guetta singing, but I thought that it was some other girl singing Skylar Grey's part. If I had known it was Skylar Grey, my ass would have been glued to the seat. I am a fanboy of Skylar Grey's voice. That woman has pipes. But anyway, I was just like, okay, I guess I made that sacrifice to get my drink, to get my refilled drink, the WrestleMania cup. And then Kid Ink comes out, obviously. And this line was actually pretty long, so it looks like a lot of people had that mind state that I did. So I was almost at the front of the line. And then what's to happen? I hear that the Divas match is next. And we all know I cannot miss AJ Lee's entrance. So what I do is I scramble. I did not shuck and jive at all, ever, as fast as I did as soon as I heard that it was a Divas match. And what sucks is I was at the front of the freaking line. The jobber was good. Well, he went to the bathroom. He was going to go join me in the line after he was done. I left the line with both of our cups and ran to our seats. He calls me. He asks, where are you at? Obviously I came back to my seat. He goes to sit with the other jobber who found other seats that were better. And, at this point, I kind of regret not going with them. But then I don't, just because the people around us were so freaking cool. Because, me and a few kids, and we were talking during the Triple H versus Sting match, and they were saying, why are you guys cheering for Triple H? And we obviously said, we could fight about it right now, and whatnot. And the parents thought that was pretty funny. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, I managed to catch the entrances. Barely, but I managed to catch the entrances, and it was, knowing what I know now, it's just, but that's a different video for a different time. I'm glad I got to witness AJ's final WrestleMania, just like I knew it would be. You just have that disgusting gut feeling, you know. I remember in 2012, MTO said, you know, oh, I feel like the Bellas are leaving in 2012, and sure enough, they did. Or he had this like nasty feeling. That's the kind of like the same nasty feeling I had going into this one with AJ. It was just like, oh, this is your last WrestleMania. I can just feel it. But anyway, let's not make this a sad review. Let's not dampen the mood at all. You know, out of all the matches, even though I am a firm believer in the Divas, and I am a firm give Divas a chance movement guy, this match was the least exciting out of all of the matches on the night. And you know, it was kind of sloppy. It wasn't very good. And you know what was funny is this is when I really started to break the ice with the people. I was all by myself, so obviously, you know, it was just me talking to the people in the ring. And whenever I yelled something out, it just seemed like the crowd around me just ate it up, and my mic skills were up unbelievably. And I was just going, you know, it was just like one of those things where, just like we went bonkers for DX, I went crazy for AJ, to the extent where even though nobody around me, everyone around me was sitting on their hands, I was over here going, you know, ballistic as soon as she got tagged in, because there was all those teasers where she got knocked off the apron, and they started laughing every time because I threw a bitch fit every time that happened. So it was at that point I was like, you know what, you guys have, you jobbers have fun in your little seats. I'll stay up here with my people, you know. And the next match is where it really took off. Cena versus Rusev. And it was pretty funny because, you know, whether you want to believe me or not, I chanted "This is awesome" all the way from the nosebleeds during Triple H versus Sting before the guys on the floor chanted it. And I don't know whether they heard me. I doubt they did. Or it was just one of those things where the great minds were thinking alike. But that happened twice tonight. It happened during the Triple H versus Sting match, and happened during Cena versus Rusev. Because I chanted "Let's go Lana" before the guys on the floor did. And again, I don't know if one of them heard me or one of the guys that were kind of closer heard me. He started chanting, and the guy that was closer to him started chanting, and so on and so forth till I got to the floor. But I shit you guys not, whether you want to believe me or not, I started "Let's go Lana." I started "This is awesome" during Triple H versus Sting. All right? Okay. Anyway, me and MTO had this plan to cheer for just Lana and say, "You both suck," when they say "Let's go Cena." And that's exactly what I did, and the fans really ate that up. And when he knocked Lana off the apron, I just went... It was pretty funny because even I knew I was over exaggerating. I was like, "Holy crap, dude! It's not that serious." But you know, everyone around me was just eating that up. It was just so much fun, you know, because when the people around you are just, they decide to have fun. They're not being uptight little pricks about their show. They decide, you know what, we got nosebleeds. We're gonna get our money's worth. That is what truly makes these wrestling experiences that much more fun. And Cena versus Rusev, despite the fact I was not looking forward to this match at all, I will admit it was better than I expected. It was, you know, I had a little bit of fun with this match just because they brought Lana back. So, hallelujah. So after that, Triple H and Stephanie came out. They cut a promo. You know, I was cheering for them just because I wanted to see if I could get a rise out of the people, because I was always cheering the heels. So I wanted to see if they would say something like, "Why do you always cheer the bad guys?" Even though, you know, obviously I'm not that big. Well, I am a big Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, the Authority fan, but it's not like I would just go out of my way to just cheer them at absolutely any stop. But that's what I did here, all obnoxiously. And, God almighty, The Rock comes back. And I had a feeling that this would happen. And it was just one of those things where I hate to keep saying, I knew this would happen, because I hate those kind of guys. But it was just like, okay, my friend told me that The Rock had, he was in town and Triple H was cutting a promo. I was just like, this would be where The Rock comes out, if anywhere. If he doesn't come out here, then, somebody else has to come out, but it has to be The Rock. Otherwise, The Rock is just going to celebrate with Roman Reigns and whatnot. So, no, it ends up being The Rock that comes out. And they've been teasing this since that confrontation they had on SmackDown a few months back. And now, the addition of Ronda freaking Rousey. Bruh. I see so much freaking potential in this. Like, this is awesome. And I can't even put it into words. This was pretty awesome. And you know what? Fuck you guys. You know what? There was another chant that I started now that I think about it. And that was a Rocky chant. But that was with the help of everyone around me. Everyone around me in the nosebleeds decided to chant Rocky as well. And I started the one, I think it was after Stephanie McMahon said that, okay, we get it. You're happy to see him. And I think I started that one. And that look on her face is just absolutely priceless. It was awesome. Just a great moment all around. And, usually during these celebrity things, WWE gets it wrong. They got it absolutely right here. And I heard something about Ronda Rousey wanting to become a wrestler now. And a Brock Lesnar for the Divas division. Count me in for that. Although it kind of did leave me underwhelmed that, all she did was, like, grab her arm and then just throw her down. But whatever. Anyway, the next match, Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. I went crazy for The Undertaker, as was expected. That's obviously one of my favorite superstar of all time, actually. So I obviously went absolutely crazy for him. And what was sad was the crowd was pretty dead during this match. I'm pretty sure they were just tired because throughout the show we didn't exactly have any time to, really rest aside from, the concert. And I guess you could say the Divas match since it was so short and nobody really cared about it. But, I mean, it seemed like that this one, they just wanted to keep their energy alive for the main event. And, I don't know. It kind of left me underwhelmed. Although I did expect the match to not be that good because my friend told me that Bray Wyatt had suffered like a sprained ankle while warming up. So it makes sense why it wasn't a great match. But this was definitely a memorable match. And I can definitely cross this off my bucket list. I have seen The Undertaker perform live at WrestleMania. Granted, the streak was dead. But beggars can't be choosers. It was at this point, now that I'm starting to get back into the mind state, that I lost my voice. Roman Reigns v. Brock Lesnar, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Wow, was the crowd hot for this one or what? And it wasn't just the crowd. It was the match. The match itself actually ended up following through. This is not going to be some catch as catch can 5-star classic, nor did we expect it to be. This was not your classic Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart type of, mat wrestling classic. But man, if this does not go down as one of the most memorable matches in WrestleMania history, I don't know what will. Let me start out with my experience, and then I'll get into the match itself. I was aware that there were 70,000 other people booing Roman Reigns. So what does little old me do? What I do is I try and make up for those 70,000 people, and I try to cheer as 70,000 people myself for Roman Reigns. So obviously, people are going to be like, boo. They're going to boo even louder. And I'm just going to be like, yeah. Like, I'm going to try and one-up them as much as I fucking can. And I'd like to think that I was at least somewhat successful, at least in my area. But obviously, I'm not going to drown out 70,000 people on my own. So Roman Reigns got, unceremoniously jeered out of the building. And Brock Lesnar got cheered out of the building. So, man, this was fucking... Oh, I just had so much fun with this match. It was like I was hanging on every move, just for this match alone. Wrestling felt real again to me. And, call me stupid, call me, an idiot, call me a fucking PG fanboy, all you want. For this match and this match alone, I was able to turn my brain off, if you will, and just make this real. Make this feel real. That's how real this felt. And it was just, I just went absolutely crazy. And every time he hit him with the Superman punch, I was just like, hit him again, come on, hit him again. And I was just going, it was just, it's one of those you had to be there moments because, and then when he hit the spear, I was just like, hit him again, hit him the fuck again, knock him the fuck out. And I was saying all that with little kids behind me, so obviously I turned around and was like, oh, my bad. But I was just like, yeah, come on, Robin, right? And it was just like, I was like a little kid again, and it just felt awesome, It was just one of those moments. I don't know if anybody else has these moments when they go to big-time shows like this where one match just helps them let loose and they become a kid again, where they just want their guy to win the match, and they want their guy to win the match so bad. But anyway, then when Seth Rollins came in, I was like, it was you heard like a mixed reaction throughout. You heard a lot of cheering, but I mean, like on Raw, you heard a mixed reaction for Seth Rollins. That was kind of me. I was like, yay, and I was also like, damn it, Roman Reigns isn't winning. But I was like, yay, now people aren't gonna, shit all over the main event. And I predicted this correctly. Seth Rollins cashes in Money in the Bank. I did not think that he was going to do it in the middle of the match. I don't think anybody thought that he was going to do it in the middle of the match. And it was crazy because it was just like, yeah, he hit him with a spear. And then Seth Rollins hits the fucking curb stomp. It's like 1, 2, and I was like, fuck, no, the fuck. And it was pretty funny, even though I was actually really happy with the finish. It was just like, you know what? I've been cheering for Roman Reigns the whole time. I have my Roman Reigns shirt on. I have to go all the way with this. But just a great ending. Very memorable WrestleMania. Epic WrestleMania. I'd say this, as soon as it ended, the jobber told me, he's like, this is one of the best WrestleManias of all time. And I'm just like, was it really that good? And now that I really think about it, I really look back, I watched it, TV version a couple of times. Yes, it was that good. And the main event just, it blew my expectations out of the water. The booking was excellent for the match. And like I said, it was not your catch can 5-star Matt Classic. It was a fight. And a fight is what we wanted to see. It's what we expected to see. It's what we should come to expect to see in any Brock Lesnar match. So Roman Reigns really held his own. And one thing that I really liked was not all of the haters, obviously, but some of the haters are actually like, you know what, Roman Reigns, he kind of proved me wrong here. He kind of held his own, and it actually seemed believable at one point that he beat Brock Lesnar. So you know what? Thank you, guys, and thank you, WWE, for putting on one hell of a WrestleMania after it looking like it was going to be very lackluster, to say the least. So, after that, we went to go get some In-N-Out because, again, we hadn't eaten a meal the whole day, and, we drove back the next day. We left at about 6:30 in the morning. We got back at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but that was because we stopped a few times, and we stopped for a while just because we wanted to give the car a rest. But anyway, I'm sure you guys, that was my WrestleMania experience. And one thing I just want to let you guys know, if you're planning to take a long road trip to WrestleMania, make sure that you sleep and you have a meal beforehand. As, stupid as that sounds, please do so. Anyway, that was my WrestleMania experience. I had a lot of fun. This was the most fun I've ever had at a wrestling show. I can honestly say that. It was just so much shit. Finally I get to witness a WrestleMania live in person. I still can't believe that I witnessed WrestleMania live in person. I saw The Undertaker. I saw Sting wrestle his first WWE match. I saw The Rock live. I saw Ronda Rousey take down Triple H. It was just, What a great show, and let me know what you guys thought about this show. You know, I mean, maybe I'm overrating it just because I went, but god damn it all to hell, this match is awesome. This show was awesome, and you know, just an amazing experience. Even though there was a few, bumps along the way, there was no doubt that this WrestleMania was all worth it, worth all the headaches, the drama, and all the whatnots going into it. So, that's all you can say. Anyway, this has been the other guy with my WrestleMania experience / review. Sorry if I bored you with unnecessary details. It was just like, since it's an experience video, I might as well throw in all I can. But yeah, I guess that's that. Anyway, and then the following 2 Raws, I guess I could throw in a little bit of review here. They haven't really followed up with Roman Reigns, you know? It was just like, you have your championship match at WrestleMania stolen from you by Seth Rollins, someone who turned his back on you last year, and I don't know, it just seems like whenever Seth Rollins does something heartbreaking to Roman Reigns, it's just like Roman Reigns just kind of dusts it off his shoulder and continues on with his life, and it's like, dude, and you know, at one point you're gonna have to get mad at Seth Rollins, so it's like, I don't know, they didn't follow it up very well, but I do agree with Randy Orton being the #1 contender going into Extreme Rules. I just hate that it looks like it's going to be Roman Reigns versus The Big Show. It's like, oh my God, nobody fucking cares about The Big Show anymore. And I understand, you know, you book him just because he gets heat, but it's like the great Twisted Goalie once said, it's not boo, you're the bad guy heat, it's boo, get off my TV heat. It's not good heat at all. It's one of those that'll make you change the channel, which ironically enough, I think originated with a match with The Big Show in it in ECW back in 2006. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to talk about recently. The Raw after WrestleMania, the crowd was kind of lackluster. I was gonna go. Now that I look at what it was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't pressure my friend to go even more. And you know, the Raw after that, the one that just passed, was pretty lackluster as well. It wasn't that special. I didn't think it was bad. It was just like, eh. So, yeah, that's kind of what Raws have been since WrestleMania. But anyway, this has been the other guy for the MT Omar review saying yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. Getting you.